Hi guys, welcome back to 12.3. This is the last video we're going to have for this section. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be finding the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. We talked about how to know if two things are inverses. And so here we're going to actually talk about finding an inverse. So again, if the determinant is 0, then there is no inverse. So we want to find the determinant first. We're going to need the determinant anyway, so that's good. And then if it's 0, we can just stop right there and say there is no inverse. If there is an inverse, if the determinant is not 0, then the inverse is going to be 1 over the determinant and times the matrix. So if the matrix is A, B, C, D, then the inverse is going to look like this. You're going to switch A and D. So you're switching the place of the two in this diagonal. And in this diagonal, you're changing the sign. So you're changing the place of these two, but the sign stays the same. And then for these two, you're changing the sign, but their position stays the same. So let's do an example of that. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the determinant. So the determinant, remember, is these two multiplied together minus these two multiplied together. So negative 3 times negative 4 is 12. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9, so it'd be minus negative 9, so just plus 9. So that's going to be 21. 21 is my determinant. Okay? 12 minus negative 9. 21. So then my inverse, I'm just going to call this A, is going to be 1 over the determinant, so 1 over 21, times the matrix, and I'm going to switch the places of these two. So I have negative 4 up here and negative 3 down here. Right? I just switched their places. And here I'm switching the sign. So this is going to be negative and this is going to be positive. So I have negative 1 and positive 9. And that is my inverse. So now I just need to distribute the 1 over 21. So if I can simplify, I will. If I can't simplify, then I can't simplify. So negative 4 divided by 21 doesn't simplify, so that just is what it is. 9 over 21 does simplify, right? They're both divisible by 3. So I get 3 over 7, which is not pretty, but there we go. Negative 1 obviously doesn't simplify, so just get negative 1 over 21. And then with 3, again, they're both divisible by 3. So I get negative 1 over 7. So this is my inverse. This is my inverse here, as simplified as it gets. So if I multiplied this times this, I would get the identity. And so if you wanted to check your work and make sure that you got it right, then that would be what you would do. You would multiply these two together and see if you get the identity. Okay, so let's do the next example. So the very first thing that we always do when we're finding the inverse is we find the determinant first. So the determinant here is negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10 minus 3 times 0 is 0. So that's just 10. So the determinant is 10. So I have, for my inverse, I have 1 over 10 times, I'm going to switch the locations of the negative 5 and the negative 2. So I get negative 2 here, negative 5 down here. And then with these, I'm just switching these signs. So I get negative 3 and then negative 0 is just 0. So that doesn't really change. And then I just distribute that 1 over 10 and simplify if I can. So negative 2 divided by 10 is negative 1 over 5. 0 divided by 10 is still 0. Negative 3 divided by 10 doesn't simplify. Negative 5 divided by 10 is negative 1 over 2. So this is my inverse. And that is how you find an inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.